Today, I'm going to help you understand which areas of your life you should focus on more in order to really thrive, to change your mindset, and most importantly, to stop self-sabotaging. Do you do that? When things are going really well, you throw a grenade in. I know that that's something I used to do, and it's really important to overcome it and to understand exactly how you can stop that happening so you can feel happy and fulfilled in your life. So we're going to do a short quiz, and I actually found it in a psychology magazine and found it really interesting and helpful. So all you need to do is go through the 10 questions that are going to come up on the screen in just a moment and make a note of how many of each number answer you get. So you might have 5 number 1s at the end, or you might have 7 number 3s. Keep a note of them, and then the number that you get the most answers for is going to be the applicable section when I read out the 4 different areas of your life that you can focus on. So if you got mostly number 1s, then it will be section number 1 that you need to focus on. So let's dive straight into those questions. Just before we start, it'd be great if you'd subscribe to my channel. You can do that by clicking the subscribe button on the screen right now. I'm Simon Chapple, the Quit Alcohol Coach. You might have seen my books, The Sober Survival Guide and How to Quit Alcohol in 50 Days, or maybe you're part of my program. If not, and you're looking to change your relationship with alcohol, absolutely head over to the website now. The address is on the screen, and you can try the program totally free for 14 days. But now let's dive into those 10 questions, and make sure you post in the comments what your answers were, which area of your life you discovered that you need to focus on more in order to really thrive. So here we go. So these 10 questions are going to help you understand where to focus your attention and help you break the cycle of self-sabotage. So the first question, and make sure you keep a note of how many number 1s, how many number 2s, number 3s, and how many number 4s you answer. So number 1, your core values revolve around 1, reaching your full potential, 2, making a difference, 3, kindness and compassion, or 4, being your best self. Number 2, your default response when asked how you are is 1, usually about how busy you are, 2, to seek reassurance about a problem you have, 3, something along the lines of, I'm okay, how are you? 4, to protect people from how you are feeling. Question 3, you feel most content when, number 1, you reach the end of your to-do list. Number 2, you're with people who value you. Number 3, you are not in the spotlight. Number 4, you've started a new self-development project. Question 4, you can find it hard to make time for, number 1, relaxation, number 2, new things, 3, yourself, 4, fun. You most feel like yourself when, number 1, you know you've been useful, 2, you are well within your comfort zone, 3, you've really connected with another person, 4, you are relaxing on your own. Question 6, in a group you tend to be the, number 1, organizer, number 2, diplomat, number 3, carer, number 4, outsider. Question 7, what others think of you is, number 1, second to meeting your own standards, 2, hard to ignore, 3, the source of your worries, 4, never as bad as what you think of yourself. Question 8, you react to uncertainty by, number 1, making a plan, number 2, questioning yourself, number 3, wondering how others are feeling, number 4, wondering how you messed up. Question 9, as a child you were encouraged to, number 1, always do your best, number 2, not to rock the boat, number 3, be good, number 4, be better. And question 10, your self-esteem is most knocked by, number 1, feeling redundant, number 2, too much thinking, number 3, conflict with others, number 4, your inner voice. So now pause the video and add up how many number 1s you had, how many number 2s, how many number 3s, and how many number 4s. And the top answer, and possibly your top 2 answers, depending how many you got, are what you need to pay attention to when I read out the results, which I'm going to do right now. So if you got mostly 1s, then you need to focus more on self-awareness. It means that much of your day can be made up of tasks that you perhaps tick off of a list. And you often look at what you've achieved as a way of forming your sense of self. And that can be okay for now, but problems can arise when what fills up your day doesn't align with your core values. And make sure you're aware of what your core values are. That is so important. This can mean that what you're doing doesn't give you a sense of meaning and purpose. Without self-awareness, it can be easy for habits to shape your experience of the world and affect your connection with yourself. Are you numbing out feelings of the direction your life is going in? Or maybe you're numbing out feelings around certain relationships. In answer to the question, who are you? Would you struggle to answer without including what you do? Think about that for a moment. If your life feels safe and stable, your instinct may tell you to avoid inviting disruption and uncertainty in. But could you allow a chunk of space for daily stillness and curiosity about your internal state, maybe through meditation, mindfulness, yoga, or walks in nature? Just make sure that whatever you do doesn't become another task on your to-do list. If it does, reduce it to simply pausing throughout the day and inquiring with a sense of curiosity. How am I reacting to this? What are my thoughts? What are my emotions? If you answered mostly twos, then the area to focus on is around self-belief. And remember, all of these 4 areas, you can do more research online, but this is giving you a signpost in the right direction. So a core foundation of self-belief is key to retaining a feeling of calm when we experience setbacks or challenges in our life. When things don't work out, it can be natural to question ourselves, and we often ask ourselves what part we played in any mistakes. But if you only feel like yourself when things are going well, or feel that you have to impress other people, it may be that your self-belief is fragile or dependent as being seen as a success in the eyes of others. The way we see ourselves can be shaped by other people's expectations of us, including the labels they give us or the conditions they place on us to be fully deserving of their love, attention, or approval. However, sometimes those expectations come from us, from ourselves, and are a subtle form of self-criticism that stops us reaching our full potential and having a firm sense of who we really are. It's hard to flourish when you view life through a mental filter of failures, mistakes, and disappointments. It's good to ask how you could have done things differently, but setting unrealistic expectations of yourself sends a message that you're not good enough. Try to nurture yourself with more self-compassion. If you answered mostly threes, then you need to look at self-inquiry. Those who are most concerned about the needs of others might find that their sense of self is tenuous at times. Maybe you feel put on the spot when conversation turns to what you want, or when your value and identity get too closely bound with making other people happy. That's when your development can suffer. It's okay to struggle to define who you are, and you may feel different from day to day. But if the thought of exploring yourself creates a sense of unease, it may be that you worry that if you take the time to probe your internal landscape, you might find a blank space. Humans are ever-changing beings that respond to everything around them, including their relationships. The irony is that improving your relationship with yourself is the most effective way to be there for others. It's okay to look to others to work out who you are, but if the energy of your key relationships is always focused on gaining approval, you may need to consciously make space for self-inquiry. For many, that can mean therapy work, and for others, it could mean more time spent on creative projects that offer the opportunity for self-expression. And finally, if you answered mostly fours, then you need to look at self-acceptance. When you see yourself as a work in progress, accepting yourself, flaws included, can feel risky, as if you'll never reach your full potential. But if your self-image is based upon you not being enough and your inner narrative hones in on what you see as all your faults, you might feel that you'll never flourish, that it's impossible. It is true that the self is dynamic and we all change in response to our environment. and the people we interact with. But a sense of self can provide a firm foundation for growth, and it can make us more resilient. The key to allowing yourself to flourish lies in your relationship with you. Do you treat yourself in a way that you'd never treat anyone else? Sometimes self-criticism isn't overt and lurks in seemingly harmless habits, such as comparing life to other people on social media. There's nothing wrong with wanting to grow, learn, and be your best self, but true self-development starts with self-acceptance. When you start where you are, you face the world without pretense and show up just as you are. A journey of self-acceptance may take time, but the transformative effects are often life-changing. So hopefully those questions and answers have given you an idea of the areas of your life that you need to really focus on. Take some time to think about whether the answers really do apply in your own life. Hopefully you found it really relatable and you can see that this gives you a signpost in terms of where you need to look in order to start really flourishing and thriving in your own life.